welcome to Flory Models Daily Vlog. May the 4th be with you. Yes, it's Star Wars Day, being May the 4th, 2016, and today we've been pushing on very nicely with the old Halifax. Part 7 is up on the site now, okay, so you can go off and watch that one. Talks about painting black. We use 3 tones of black with it. I've got to remember which ones they are. We actually used normal flat black XF1. We also used XF85, my favourite black if I'm honest, and we used some dark sea blue. Okay, so we use XF17 to give a very nice black finish underneath and to break it up and all the rest of it before we make our way through with the yellow stripes on the front, which we've just started to weather in. Really enjoying how this one goes. Now this one today, what I've actually been doing is something a little bit different that I don't normally do, and that is to physically sand the wash off. Yep, you heard me right. We actually sanded the wash off. So instead of coming in with the old spitty cloth and going around it and all the rest of it, I actually came in and sanded it off. Now the reason for doing that is, and if this actually works well, so that's number what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we go like this, hopefully the webcam is actually working for once. But you might notice we've actually got very shiny paint, but that has been sanded with a medium sanding stick to show off, where you can see it down here, the actual panel lining detail, just like that. Okay, so when you look round it, hopefully you can see, the camera's going to play ball. It's very difficult to see because it should be subtle. I don't want it to stand out like a sore thumb, but generally the panel lining and all the other details should look very nice. But you can probably see from the top half, it's very weathered in. Now the great thing about sanding it like this is that when you're doing it, you can be in a situation to give it as much texture as you want. So you can make it by polishing it, literally very light sanding strokes and all the rest of it with a medium one, and to give you this nice shine. Or you can give it a bit more of a polish like we've sort of done underneath here, just to give it that nice look. Now again, this is just for doing panel lines, for nothing else really. It's a little bit of grime here and there with it, but generally it's just literally taken in like that. Okay, so it's just literally the first stage of the actual weathering. Really happy how it's come out with this particular one. It's working really well. It's one of those models which is actually working with me instead of against me, because let's face it, it fought me for the first half of the build. It's about time it sort of, you know, knocked it back a bit. But it's coming along really, really nicely. We're going to get this one sealed down, and then we're going to come in and literally go to town with oils and different types of streaking effects, staining effects, because this one I wanted to look like a worn bomber. Okay, I don't want it to be hanging apart and bits of it all hanging off. I want it to look like it just has a hard life in general. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Let's say first stage of the weathering, something I've never shown before. I thought I'd show it this time, and if you watch my new personal vlogs now that are actually on the site, I spent a bit of time today discussing it and the reasons why I don't show everything that I do, purely because I don't want people ruining their models and stuff like that. Speaking of which, must thank everybody for being with us last night for their thing. We have our new system here. You can see everything here. So this is how it is. We've got this sort of double page system, as you can see up on the site now, and then obviously we can have Steve down the bottom and all things like that. Hopefully it's a little bit more cleaner, fresher, and everything else like that. Sorry about the audio. What it was, Steve was a little bit loud, if we're honest, and he was drowning us out. So I know a lot of you were turning it down and then couldn't hear us. I will get that fixed obviously for Saturday, because on Saturday we've got the actual Saturday morning build. So me and Steve will be live using that very same format, so if you want to come and join us, please do. It's very relaxed, very, you know, chilled and all the rest of it, and we're just basically building our dolphins that we're working on the Coast Guard 1/35th scale trumpeter kits, so we're going to be doing that. Gotta say, congratulations to Nick Turney. I haven't been in contact with you, Nick. I don't know if you saw last night's show, God help you if you did, but you actually won this kit. So what I'm going to do is I will send you a PM now, straight after I do this, and I'll get in contact. I need to get your details, and we'll get that shipped off to you, either via courier, to depending where you are in the world, or if you're in the UK, we'll probably do it by post, and get that off to you like that. So congratulations to you. You won last month's prize draw. Remember, to enter into the prize draw, you don't have to do anything now. Literally, as you saw John do, he went on the random number generator. I had nothing to do it. I had my back to it. I was over in the little bit down there with the computer. He shouted out the number, and then I just went down to the whatever it was, 200 and whatever it was person to post, and I plucked out your details from there. Okay, and that was it, and you won that kit. So there's no need you have to put this I'm in and all the rest of it. I will just pick out, do a list from, I think it was like 1 to, well, number 2, because I'm always number 1, so it'll be number 2 right the way through to, I think it's 2,580 subscribers have been in the site in the last 30 days. If you haven't been in the last 30 days, you don't get entered, so you have to be there in the last 30 days. Okay, so that way you won that great kit, so congratulations to you. Some of you might have been noticing I've been doing this new thing now with a vlog. It's a personal vlog. It's just a little bit of fun and a little bit more of an insight for my day-to-day what I'm doing. Really I'm enjoying doing it and all the rest of it, but I need your feedback on it, okay? So let me know really what you think. It goes along something along the lines of, I've got to remember where we are now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so it'll be 8, okay? It will look something like this. Okay, and like this is a speeded up section, but I also talked to you quite at length. We discussed the Halifax we're working on now. We've got a little bit of music in the background, but you get a better understanding in the working of the actual site itself and what I do during my day. I know yesterday I talked quite extensively about editing and all the things like that and the bits and pieces, but generally I just set up a couple of cameras around the place as I'm, you know, doing my day-to-day bits, and then I just chuck them all together. You know, I take some clips out of it, bung it together. It doesn't cost me any time. I enjoy doing it. But again, I'm going to get your feedback, because the plan is we're going to have a poll at the end of the week to find out which version you prefer. Do you prefer like my personal vlogs like I've been doing up there now? The second one is up there now, which is this one you're watching. Or do you prefer the sort of, you know, the more in-depth one like we do today? Okay, it's never going to change anything. It's just different ways of doing it at the end of the day at sort of 5 o'clock when you get this particular show up and things like that. Okay, so have a look at it, tell me what you think, give us your honest feedback to it. We're trying to develop the site and make it more interactive and everything else like that, so I just thought it'd be a little bit of fun doing it that way. But honestly, I want your feedback, tell me what you think, and I'll go from there. So that's about it for today. Go off and now watch this great build. Okay, it's coming on really nicely. I must admit I'd lost my mojo completely with that one, and that's why I was pushing on with the airliner a bit, but now I'm back into it. I'm at my favourite stage and everything else like that, so I really am enjoying it. But it's something a little bit different and everything else like that. So there we go. Till tomorrow everybody, happy modelling, take care.